Hi everyone, this is Professor Benjamin, and you have finished week 3 of this course. So we're already into week 4 of this course, which is crazy. Time is flying by. So this week I graded your population assignments and we covered migration in this class. So a couple things. The population assignments were not as great as I wanted them to be. A lot of students were just a little way too specific about like what life expectancy is, and you didn't really get into the nitty-gritty of why the countries were the way they were. Also, a lot of students just didn't follow the basic requirements for the assignment. So you'll see that your grade is reflected in that. If you have questions on how to view your grade, go to the Grades tab, and you can find the Grades tab over here. So you click on the Grades tab, and then you click on the line item, which would be population assignment. On the right-hand side, you'll see a little icon with comments on it. You're going to click on that because that'll take you to the paper, and on a lot of your papers, I wrote comments like on your paper, so make sure you look at that. Citing references, MLA formatting, using in-text citations, paragraphs, being very specific. And if you have questions about the next assignments that's due, I made a little video under there that kind of gives you helpful hints on what I'm looking for in the assignment. Okay, so that was last week. Migration, you did a great job, of course, on your migration posts. A lot of people did fantastic posts on what the push and pull factors are. Usually they're social, economic, and environmentally related. And that can range from freedom, religious freedom, financial freedom. Environment means sometimes people move because maybe they would like a change of scenery. Maybe they move from an urban environment to a suburban environment. And then there's also, economic reasons. A lot of people migrate for jobs or money, etc. So of course migration is a huge topic now. It is something that is really, really, as I discussed last week in the roundup, it's just a huge hot topic. And if you look at some of the immigration laws of the United States, it's unbelievable the way that we have curbed immigration into the United States, both legal and illegal. If you ever want to just search what all of the policies were that we've enacted for immigration throughout history, some of them, when you start reading about them, you're like, are you kidding? Like the Chinese Exclusion Act. There are just tons of different acts that we have enacted over the years, and it's just it can tug at your heart a little bit if you look at them. So under migration, most of you did a great job. I did see a lot of the same posts, the same information on the same post, and one of those was like a recent population that's migrating. You guys, there's a million different types of populations that are migrating right now, and a lot of you just picked the same one, the same one that's found in the module. But there was a lot of the first official climate change refugee, but there's tons of other migrating individuals throughout the world. So remember that, you don't want to read the same thing over and over again. And I don't want to see the same content, because if I do, then I'm gonna worry that it was plagiarized. So the student that posts first gets credit, and then everyone after that, if I see similar writing on a similar topic, then that means that you could have copied the information from that individual. And I'm not okay with that, because that person worked really hard to make that post. So this week, please think about that when you're making your posts. Okay, so migration, we're headed into, don't forget your final paper proposal is due by tomorrow night, which is Sunday, 11:59. You have your migration quiz as well. Next week, we're going to cover urban patterns, and we're going to jump to chapter 13 in textbook. We jump around in the textbook. So we're going to jump to chapter 13. There's a description here. Here's the PowerPoints. Here are additional articles. You have your form due by Tuesday, response post due by Thursday, quiz due by next Sunday, 11:59, and you have your second assignment due, urban patterns assignment. And I will be adding, in a couple of minutes, I'll be adding a walkthrough of the urban patterns assignment, which will give you details on what I'm looking for in the assignment. So that video will be found right under the urban patterns assignment. Okay, so urban patterns, you're going to look at like how cities are defined. So, what are the attributes of the central business district, or the CBD, which is really important. You'll understand what consumer, public, and business services means, and what and what's offered by that city. You're going to describe what urban settlements are, what a metropolitan statistic area is. You're going to You're going to look at these city models, and that is what is really specific about the assignment, is you're going to look at how cities are set up, and why they were set up that way, and how we're kind of redefining those in the 20th century. So you'll look at that. You'll look at how non-US cities are structured. So we'll look at Latin American cities in the assignment and look at how that's different than how North American cities are structured. And then we'll look at like challenges of cities. So in this session, you'll look at challenges of cities, poverty. You'll look at gentrification. You'll look at like the new wave of like driverless cars and how they may reshape cities. So there's a lot of different